Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Remember me? All right. This is still in chapter 7. It's a long one, and this particular aspect, it's a lot to it. So, it's a meaty chapter. Did he say that? Okay. Not going to go there again. Let's continue, shall we? Hope you're in good shape, physically, mentally. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your practice, most of all, and your support in whatever way you're participating, whether it's just liking and subscribing, which is really important. Helps get this resource to more people. But also patrons, oh my goodness, you guys are the reason I'm here. Whether it's through Patreon or directly to PayPal, your donations, your constant support is just invaluable for all of us to share this information, yeah? All right, let's continue. We finished with everybody said that there was then, at that time, a time of illness. Also, there was a time in Jambudvipa when a famine broke out, several times actually. I gave people the food they needed. I spoke about all wonderful Dharma and led them into unsurpassed enlightenment. Now, is that Shakyamuni talking about Siddhartha, doing these things? No. He's speaking again in that, remember, Buddhism is about the mind. So he's talking about times in history when our innate Buddha nature manifested itself. And the more individuals, the more ones of us that were experiencing that welling up of the Buddha nature against the backdrop of the samsaric avarice and greed and distractions, wonderful things were accomplished. But always, it seems, the Dharma experience, the clarity of a mission for humanitarian, not even humanity, beyond humanitarian, the love of life, the respect, the need, the exigency of protecting, nurturing, being in life seem to only manifest in moments of crisis or ultimate doom, like at odds with, like a physical battle with samsara. And this is all in the mind. And so what Shakyamuni is pointing out here is that, yes, we're all working toward this enlightenment. But understand that this isn't a foreign thing. This isn't a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It takes shape, it being this Buddhaness, this Buddha nature, that drives all our filters and understandings of what is happening in the verb of life. It's always there. It's ever present. It's part and parcel of every, quote, thing, manifest, expressed. I like the word express because express doesn't have a time signature to it. Whereas manifest seems to imply something is and continues to is. Whereas expression means it is, but it's gone at any moment unless effort is made to stay in that expression, that experience. And that is indeed our Buddhist mission. This is indeed what Shakyamuni is speaking about here. Is that there's nothing strange or wonderfully distinct, right? Because we're all about identification in samsara. About Buddha nature, it's always there, What is important and difficult is to stay in that Buddha nature without having to be called forth by such samsaric disarray, right? The Mara, the Darakuten no Mao, the demons. Why do we need so much trauma in order to rise above it? Why don't we just rise above it and stay above it? Ah, yes, you can do this. This is the one greatest doubt, isn't it? And this is what Shakyamuni is all about. He's saying, Buddha, yes, I am the embodiment of Buddha, but not because I am special. Because Buddha is, in fact, it shouldn't be special because it's commonplace. It's in everything. Just focus your mind on unlocking Buddhaness permanently. And you could start by instantiating it, experiencing that expression of Buddha within yourself, moment to moment to moment, by simply calling it forth, invoke it, make it happen. This is what Nichiren teaches us. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo is exactly that. I am present, I am here, and I am fully committed to manifesting my Buddhaness now. Now. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Nichiren is simply distilling all of this teaching into the very straightforward invocation of exactly what Shakyamuni is talking about here. Just be it. Also, to an is, quote-unquote, minded person, I speak about the non-eternal or within time. To one pleasure-minded, quote-unquote, I speak about suffering. To one who clings to self and selflessness is expounded. To one who clings to purity, impurity is expounded. To one who clings to the three worlds, Dharma is expounded. Because if you're in hell, hunger, and animality, most of the time, one must let you in on the secret that enlightenment is constantly there too, if you so choose. Dharma is expounded to make him renounce the world. In other words, stop being so attached, because that's what's creating your basis in hell, hunger, and animality. Thingification. To pass beings to the other shore, the wonderful medicine of Dharma is prescribed. You want to get out of all this misery, reach into your mind and open your experience of Buddhahood. This will immediately transfer you to the other shore. In other words, this isn't an alternate reality. It's just the other side of the stream. Right? Trying to make it, since we're stuck in samsara, earthbound. Right? How many times have you heard me say Buddhahood is not achieved or a destination to arrive at, attained outside of this life, this Saha world. In fact, it can only be experienced, quote unquote, through the sentient mind. Which right away, if you stop for just a moment and consider that, blows away any thought of a, quote, afterlife. Afterlife just means life's over. And if life's over, guess what? Sentient mind is over. So your experience of Buddhahood is an earthly phenomena. The rest of the time, we're just with the rest of the energy, which contains Tathagata field potential, of course, but you don't experience it. It can only be experienced in this form, the realm of forms, yes? All right, back to Shakyamuni. In order to fell the trees of illusion, those of the unsurpassed medicine of Dharma are planted. To save all non-Buddhist heretics, wonderful Dharma is expounded. This is our mission, right, as Bodhisattva. Although I act as a teacher to beings, no thought of a teacher to all beings resides in me. In other words, I'm not telling you how to do what you already know how to do. I'm encouraging you. I'm facilitating you. But where is the teacher? You've heard me say this 1,000 times. Where is the actual teacher? It's you. We are our own teachers through the device of our own mind. Since I intend to succor all those of lower social status, I gain life amongst them and talk about Dharma. And no malevolence acts will react within me. The Buddha, right enlightened one, is ever in parinirvana. In other words, the Buddha nature, is always in the form of letting go of samsara, the extinction of desires, attachments, thingification, identification. That is the switch. We call it the Gohonzon mind, yeah? That is the switch in the mind, the door, the window, the gateway, the welcome mat, the whatever portal, whatever you want to call that Gohonzon mind. It's the mental switch from samsaric perception, competition, identification, ownership, to look at this. Now look at it again. Look at the process. Look at the engine of life. Over and over and over and over and over. Expressing itself. How ingenious, how wonderful. Look at how it's so easily influenced the moment it tries to seize upon something. Stop seizing upon things. And instead, behold things. See how easy we can do it with language, right? From a mind that seizes or attempts to seize, because you never seize anything, you just think that you own something, but it's leaving you as you reach for it, right? Moment to moment to moment. Everything's constantly changing. But we don't think that way in samsaric mindset. We think, this orange, mine, and we eat it, and it goes away in various ways. Yes? But behold it. Behold the orange. Behold your friend. The car, the tree, the air that you breathe. How magnificent, right? Everything becomes a precious expression of life when it's beheld in your... And then the question has to be, what is beholding? Oh. How do I take responsibility for that fleeting, constantly changing, beholding engine? Because I am the same as that orange. We are beholding one another. Let's continue. Hence I say eternal and unchanging, because this process, moment to moment to moment, never changes in the engine of life. As in Jampudvipa, so do things also obtain in Puravidya Deha, Aparakarmic Potentialana, and Utarakuru. Wow. As in the four lands, so also in the 3,000 great thousand worlds. All those realms of influence, they're constantly moment to moment, yeah? As to the 3,000 realms of existence, things are as stated extensively in the Lotus Sutra. Sutra. Typo. Another instance to thank Melly Mel. Hi, Mel. Oh, Sylvain. Hence, Parinirvana. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva who abides in Parinirvana can well display such results in transformation and has no fear. Because fear is based on loss and the unknown. But if you're in Parinirvana all the time, right, beholding, what is there to be afraid of? Wow, look at this. Wow, look at that. Wow, this is me. Wow, I'm in this. Wow, everything's a big old wow, yeah? I hate to sound like a kindergarten teacher, but yeah, it's that basic. O Kashyapa, say not, therefore, that Rahula is the son of Shakyamuni Buddha. He's the son of Siddhartha, but not of Buddha. Buddha being this mental experience. It doesn't spawn form, this human body in its interaction of karma and saha existence spawns a progeny or offspring. There you go. Because Rahula is the son of Siddhartha and Buddha is a mind state. Why not? He says, because innumerable kalpas ago, I had already done away with all existences of desire. Again, him Siddhartha? No. Him Shakyamuni. Him Buddhahood. Him Buddhahood. You know what I mean. That is why we say that the Tathagata field potential is eternal and unchanging, right? Kashyapa said further, O Buddha, why do we say eternal or outside of time? You, Shakyamuni Buddha, say that when the light of a lamp has gone out, there is no direction or place to be named as to where it has gone. The same is the case with the Tathagata field. Once dead, there can be no direction or place that can be named. Ooh, yeah. Shakyamuni Buddha said, O Kashyapa, you should not say, when the light of a lamp has gone out, there is not direction or place to be named. The same is the case with the Tathagata field. When there is extinction, there can be no direction or place to be named. O good man, when a lamp is lit by a man or a woman, any lamp, big or small, has to be filled with oil. When there is oil there, the lamp keeps alight. When the oil is spent, the light also disappears along with it. That light going out can be compared to the extinction of illusion. Although the light has gone out, the utensil, the vessel, the lamp holder, remains behind. The same is the case with the Tathagata field. Although illusion has gone, the Dharma body remains forever. O good man, what does this mean? Does it mean that both the light and the lamp disappear? Is it so? Kashyapa answered, No, O wonderful honored one. Both do not disappear at the same time, and yet it is still non-eternal or within time. If the Dharma body is compared to the lamp is actually non-eternal or within time. So the Dharma body must also be non-eternal or within time. Oh, good man, you should not try to refute in this manner. We speak in the world of a utensil. Shakyamuni Buddha, world-honored one, is the unsurpassed utensil of the Dharma of Tathagata field. It would be more accurate to say the Dharma is the experience of enlightenment, while Buddha is the experiencer or observer mind of Tathagata field. A utensil of the world can be non-eternal, but not that of the Tathagata field. Of all things, nirvana is eternal or outside of time. In other words, it's about the mind. And the potential of the mind never goes away. But the mind, the mind disappears, but that doesn't mean what the mind can do disappears. Right? You understand. Sometimes so much repetition happens in different ways that it begins to sound like he's saying something different, but he's not. The Tathagata field has this. Thus, it is eternal or outside of time. Also, O good man, you say that the light of the lamp goes out. This is like the nirvana attained by an enlightened one, because all the illusions of greed and craving are done away with. We can compare this to the lamp going out. The anagamin yet has greed. As there is still greed left, we cannot say that this is the same as the lamplights going out. That is why I said in the past, in an undisclosed, cryptic, and unexplained way, that it was like a dying lamp. It is not that nirvana is to be equated with the dying off of the lamplight. The anagamin does not come about, get reborn, if you will, time and again. He does not come back to the 3,000 realms of existence. Again, he does not gain any more the smelly body, the body of vermin, the body that is fed, the poisonous body. Such is an anagamin, one not coming into bodily existence again. If a body arises again, this is an anagamin, for coming into bodily existence. When the body does not rise again, this is an anagamin. What is possessed of coming and going is agamin. What has no coming or going, no birth and death, is anagamin. All right. We can read that several times, but he's just, again, delineating the difference between a residual influence versus an actual embodied saha existence thing. Then Bodhisattva Kashyapa said to Shakyamuni Buddha, O world-honored one, you, Shakyamuni Buddha, say that the all-Buddha world-honored one has an undisclosed storehouse. But this is not so. Oh boy. Why not? The all-Buddha world-honored one has privately spoken words, but not an undisclosed storehouse, a teaching not made known. For example, this is analogous to the case of a magician, his mechanical appliances, and his wooden image. One may see the motions of bending, stretching, and looking up and down, but one does not know that inside there is a man who makes things proceed thus. But with Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, it is not like this. His teaching enables all beings to know and see. How can one say that the all-Buddha world-honored one has anything undisclosed? Again, this is almost the same kind of an argument that a materialist would have with a, energist, Energyist. Right, because the materialist is founded in samsara, whereas the energyist is founded in experience, a fleeting moment-to-moment expression and experience dynamic, which has no limitations, no realm of form, if you will. Shakyamuni Buddha praised Kashyapa, saying, well said, O good man, it is just as you say. Shakyamuni Buddha, truth to tell, does not keep anything hidden. In that sense, you're right. I divulge everything I know in myriad ways to facilitate, right? But from whence does that come? That hasn't really discussed with Kashyapa, other than Tathagata, potential. This is the part Kashyapa is struggling with, or at least representing the argument that he knows many monks are struggling with. Shakyamuni, truth to tell, does not keep anything hidden. How so? It is as in the case of the full moon in autumn, when it is all open, bare, clear, pure, and cloudless, so that all people can see it. What Shakyamuni Buddha says is also the same. It is open, bare, clear, pure, and cloudless. Dull people do not understand it and speak of a secret in connection with it. The secret is just their obstacles to understanding that they need to get by, but they connect it to something's hidden, there's secret in there. Isn't that's projection at its most? Yeah. The wise understand the matter. Do not say that there is anything secretly stored away. O good man, there is a man here who stores gold and silver amounting to yis, whatever that is, and yis, a Chinese unit of number. Being a miser, he does not give to the poor and help them. Anything stored in this fashion could be called secretly stored, secretly withheld. It is not thus with the Buddha. Over the course of innumerable long kalpas, he stores wonderful laws, doctrines, truths, and rare treasures. He does not begrudge anything. He always gives to all beings. How then can we say that he secretly stores truths away? Notice he did it again. Moved from saha to potential seamlessly, which can, if you're not paying attention, zip right by you. What he's saying is that potential is always there. Nothing's withheld. But if I'm giving you directions as how to get there, you may perceive that it's incomplete and therefore there's a secret. Do you see what I'm saying? It's there for you to partake of, right? Invoke your Buddha. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to start talking in many ways to try to get you to see what I'm saying. And if you're still struggling with what I'm saying, you may perceive that there's a hidden secret. But the only hiding is done by the person who isn't capable of perceiving yet. They're hiding themselves within the samsaric obstacle. Make sense? O good man, there's a man here who is lacking a part of his body, such as an eye or a hand or a leg. He feels shy and does not allow others to see. As all people do not see it, they say secretly concealed. It is not so with Shakyamuni Buddha. He is perfect in wonderful Dharma and lacking in nothing, allowing all others to see. How could one say that Shakyamuni Buddha secretly stores, conceals, or withholds things? O good man, a poor man, for example, has debts. He fears the man to whom he owes money. He hides and does not wish to show himself. Here we may speak of hiding. The case is not the same with Shakyamuni Buddha. I do not shoulder the mundane laws, phenomenal truths, or phenomena of all beings, but do their supramundane laws. But I do not hide such. Why not? Because I always, Shakyamuni Buddha, think of beings as my only son, and expound to them unsurpassed Dharma. O good man, there is a rich man, for example, who has much wealth. He only has one son. He loves this son very much and cannot forget him. He shows all his wealth to his son. So it is with all Buddhas. He views all beings as his own only son. O good man, this is as in the case of worldly people. Men and women conceal their genitalia behind clothing because such are ugly things to look upon. Here we speak of concealing. It is not thus with the Tathagata field. It has long since done away with genitalia. As he does not have such, there is no reason for concealment. O good man, the Brahmins do not like to have their words and what they say heard by Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. Why not? Because there are many things in their words that are wrong and wicked. But the Tathagata field's wonderful Dharma is such that it is lovely in its beginning, lovely in its middle, and lovely in its conclusion. So we cannot speak here of things hidden or stored away. O good man, for example, there is a rich man who only has a single son. He always thinks of and loves this boy. He takes the boy to a teacher to be taught. Apprehensive that things might not progress quickly, he takes the boy back home. As he loves him, he teaches him the alphabet day and night very patiently. Yet he does not teach him the Vaikarana, a popular work for language study, a kind of grammar. Why not? Because the child is small and is not up to such lessons. O good man, now the rich man finishes teaching the alphabet. But is the boy ready to be taught the Vaikarana? No, world-honored one. Is the rich man concealing anything from the child? Well, no, O world-honored one. Why not? Because the child is too young. So he does not teach him the more advanced matters. It is not that the boy is not taught because the man begrudges him such lessons. Why not? If there is any jealousy or begrudging involved, we may say that he conceals things. It is not thus with Shakyamuni Buddha. How could we say that he hides and conceals? Shakyamuni Buddha said, well said. O good man, it is as you say. If there is any anger, jealousy, or begrudging, we can well say that he is concealing things. Shakyamuni Buddha has no anger or jealousy. How can you say that he hides things away? O good man, the great rich man is like the Tathagata field. Shakyamuni Buddha himself. The only child is all beings. Shakyamuni Buddha views all beings as he views his only son. Teaching is his only son relates to the Shravaka disciples. The alphabet and the 9 types of sutras, the Vaikarana, relates to the Vaipulya extensive Mahayana sutras. Since all the Shravaka disciples do not possess the power of wisdom, Shakyamuni Buddha teaches them the alphabet. Sorry, I'm trying to make a... Sorry. Where was that error? How can you say the only child being wrong 9 times since all this right, i.e. the 9 types of sutra. So the alphabet in this case is the 9 types of sutra. And he does not yet speak of the Vaikarana, i.e. the Vaipulya or Mahayana. O good man, when the rich man's son has grown up and is able to cope with the lessons, if the Vaikarana is not taught, then we may well speak of concealment. If all Shravakas are grown up and can indeed cope with the Mahayana Vaikarana lessons, but Shakyamuni Buddha begrudges them this and does not teach them, then you could say there is concealment. Yeah? Sorry. Then you could say, we could well say that Shakyamuni Buddha begrudges, hides, and conceals the teachings, but this is not so with Shakyamuni Buddha. Now that's something I want to note as we go on here is he specifically is identifying that the Shravaka, which we know as the, right, in the 10 worlds we call the learning world, right? Shravakas are in the stage of learning. But as you also know, we're constantly, moment to moment, addressing 3,000 realms of possibility with every single thought that goes through our minds. So to say that we're in the world of learning is misleading. Shravakas are encapsulated in a hierarchy of lessons and learning and graduating as monks, students, and generally speaking, they are in class, they're learning, right? And the way they're being taught and learning at that stage is through 9 sutras, 9 types of sutras. But as we know, there are 12. And so what he's also saying is that until the Shravakas graduate from being in the world of learning to the world of realization, actualization, integrating this learning, this self-teaching, right? That is when they graduate to the Mahayana, the more involved teachings, the more advanced teachings. So that's interesting to note. Shakyamuni Buddha does not conceal anything, he says. This is as with the rich man who, having taught the alphabet, next teaches the Vaikarana. I also do the same. To all my disciples I have spoken about the alphabet and the 9 types of sutra. Having done so, I now, after this, talk about the Vaikarana. This is none other than the Tathagata's eternal, or outside of time, and unchanging nature. I note here, Shakyamuni Buddha takes this opportunity to explain different periods of his teaching life over 50 years, from the early Agama Sutras through the Mahayana, and of course, this teaching. Also, next, O good man, it is, as in the summer months, when great clouds call forth thunder and great rain, as a result of which all farmers can sow their seeds and harvest things, those who do not sow cannot expect to harvest. It is not through the workings of the Naga kings that one cannot harvest. And these Naga kings also do not store or hold things back. The same with me. I let fall the great rain of the great Mahayana Lotus and Parinirvana Sutras. Those beings who sow good seeds harvest the buds and fruit of wisdom. Those who have not sown can expect nothing. Shakyamuni Buddha is not to blame if they gain nothing. Shakyamuni Buddha does not hide anything away. All right. On that note, yeah, you know it. We will continue next time. Thank you again for being here, for participating. Please, any questions, or you feel I've skipped something, or maybe you need a little bit more elucidative, you need a little more clarity on what I talked about today. We will continue with Chapter 7. As I said, it's pretty dense with information, but it's also, as I'm sure you've recognized by now, a great deal of repetition about these same concepts But, everybody receives information differently, filtered through their own karmic juggernaut of filters, yeah? So this is why he does that. He has to make sure that he includes everyone. All of his only childs. All right. Yeah, please use the comments. And if you can, become a supporter at some level. All the links are in the description. In the meantime, I wish you good health, good fortune. Please keep your practice strong. Savor it. Take care of your health. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.